you producing the last Destiny's Child's song. You done Kelly Rowland's You Changed.
That was the last song together.
And Michelle Williams' Say Yes.
Yeah.
Like, how did those records come about?
Those are the last times they were on a record together.
Wow.
Do you know how legendary that is? Like, I need to sit up for that. Like,
Yeah, man.
were Destiny's Child always meant to be on those tracks? Like, did you know that from the start?
Nah. So when I produced You Changed, it's so crazy that you know that. It's so wild. I don't know how people don't even know that. Funny story. I met Kelly in 2006 in London. She used to work in this St. John's Wood, right? She was working in the studio over there. Okay. And a friend of mine took me over there, and I met her, and she kind of was like, hi. And it was kind of like nothing. And I was kind of like, okay. I sucked. And then fast forward a few years later, you know, discovered by Rodney Jerkins, obviously Chris Brown happens. I ended up going with him, Kelly, and we became really good friends and family, and her and her husband, Tim, are like family to me. So she's like, I really want you to meet Michelle. And I was like, okay. She was like, no, I really want you to meet Michelle. Like, I want you to do a record with her. I was like, I'm down. So I give her You Change. She calls B, and B does her verse, and then Michelle's in LA, and she ended up coming to the studio to do her verse.
Wow. So
that is kind of like the beginning of the introduction between me and Michelle. So You Change was kind of not for the girls, more so for Kelly, but she put the girls on it. So then when I did Say Yes, when I was doing Michelle's album, I didn't even think we were going to put them on there at all. But I do recall Beyonce calls Michelle. She's like, I'm in LA. Bring me the album. I want to hear it. And so Michelle calls me, and this is, you know, she's like, yo, H, can you bring me a copy of the album? I said, okay, yeah, where you at? She was like, I'm with B. I said, huh? Yeah, where? And then she said, I'm with Beyonce. I said, you want me to bring it to where you and Beyonce is? She said, yeah. I said, shice now. So that was my first introduction to the Queen. And I walked in, and Babe Blue was maybe a year and a half old at the time. And I dropped the CD off, greeted the Queen very kindly and quickly, and got the hell out of Dodge. and then that night, Michelle calls me. She was like, yo, you ain't gonna believe what B wants to do. I said, what's that? She says she wants to jump on and Say Yes. I said, which one? When Jesus Say Yes. Now, it was a smash with just Michelle. It was a smash. But when B said she wants to jump on, I was like, no way. And then Kelly came to the studio, and she was like, let me play her B's verse. I play her B's verse. She was like, I'm doing the bridge. And so she does the bridge. And you have to understand, so everybody's gone home. It's 3:00 in the morning. I'm sitting and looking at these speakers like, Afrobeat, gospel, Destiny's Child.